here in my 30th year. Just kidding. It's my 43rd year, which is really sad. But I'm happy to say that some of the best I've had were spent at this firm. So happy birthday to Seaforth, happy birthday to Jenny, happy birthday to everybody who is lucky enough to be a part of this awesome agency and what it does for West Michigan. The expectation of the folks who work here to not just be involved in their community, but it is involvement in the community, but it's to be engaged with the community. There's the expectation for everybody that works in this agency to get what makes West Michigan tick, to get what makes the state tick, to get what makes industries tick, and especially the place that Seaforth PR calls home. I love the fact that this agency has always been committed to being downtown, even when it wasn't popular, and even when you could roll a bowling ball down Monroe Center and not hit a soul at high noon. I think that there has always been a heart inside of this agency that connects with the soul of this city. And I think that that expectation of all the employees, not just leadership, but every single employee, from Ginny as the CEO down to every intern that works here, the leadership leads by example and expects everybody to have some skin in the game of what makes this community tick. And when you know that, you know all the players, you become rich with history yourself. And you are out there doing what I like to call now collecting dots. So sometimes you go to a meeting that you think is going to be really boring, but you hear and you listen and you learn and you collect a dot. And then maybe you go to an event that's, oh gosh, I'd really rather be home, I'd rather be in my sweats, I'd rather be watching the TV show I wanted to watch, I'd rather be billing. But you're sitting at an event, you're collecting a dot. You're seeing people, you're understanding issues that are happening, you're there. You're out and about, networking with people, having lunches, doing what it takes to be seen, but also be involved. You're collecting information, you're collecting history, you're collecting along the way. And then you bring all those dots back, and what do you do here? This whole agency is about connecting dots. That's all you do. Call it whatever you like, but that is what this agency does. And the more dots that you collect, the more ammunition you have to put something together. That is the goal. And I think that the expectation of knowing your community and understanding what makes it tick, and then pulling that knowledge base together to form great strategies and good counsel for your clients who maybe don't see how valuable that is or don't have the time to invest in that way, that's the value that you bring to the clients. And also, I think, as an employer, that is the value that Seaforth PR has brought to the region and to the city. This awesome pairing that we called M&M. I don't even know who, I think it was Jane who might have named us. It was Mischief and Mayhem, because we did, you know, we got into a lot of trouble, often at other people's expense. So I was good at maybe coming up with some of those schemes, Andrea too, and she was great at writing poetry. So I would bark out some kind of fun lines, and she would write it down, and we would deliver our poems at sometimes really inopportune moments, and they weren't always kind, but they were really freaking funny. Oh my God. I mean, they were so funny. But I think maybe the funniest moment that I actually tell, you're going to interview Nick Wassmiller, right? Okay, because he can tell his version, here's mine. So I am pregnant. This poor young man has been brought on as an intern. Where's my office? It was on the other side of this wall, I think. So you know how the offices are set up, right? So it's got like the tall wall, so the AE is behind this wall, and whoever else is in front of the thing. So he's my intern. And he's sitting out in front of the half wall. And I am so sick. I had the worst pregnancy. You know this, right? My pregnancies were a nightmare. And I was so sick. I was so fat. Oh my God. I gained 68 pounds for CJ for the pregnancy with her, 65 for Lily. So it's not like I learned from pregnancy. I was huge. And I think I was pregnant with CJ, so it was my first pregnancy. And Nick happened to got the really short straw and had to be my intern. So he's sitting out on the other wall. And there was a day that I was so tired, so incredibly tired, I actually fell asleep at my desk. I just, you know, I put my papers to the side, and I literally fell asleep on my desk. I curled up and slept so hard that it took a phone call to wake me up. I had drooled on my timesheet. And it was so bad I had to throw it out and redo it and write it, because it was so embarrassing. But I fell asleep on my desk, and God bless Nick Wassmiller's heart. He had come in there and saw me sleeping, and and people were coming looking for me. He kept them away so I could get a nap. Isn't that so nice? Now, I don't know who else could get away with that. You better have a good intern. That's the moral of that story. Get an intern that's scared of you. So, but that poor kid, I put him through the ringer. I was an absolute nightmare. I had like 10 personalities through this pregnancy. I was obviously sleeping on the job. I don't know what it was inside of him that helped him want to make me productive, or at least save face in front of my boss. So I don't know if Ginny knows that story, but it's absolutely true. I had easily a 90-minute nap at my desk that day.